Live from New York. It's Saturday. No, it's not. It's Monday night. Monday Night Live with your hosts, Mark
and Felix.
And we are here tonight broadcasting before the government shutdown.
Actually, that is our topic for the evening. Will the government shut down? It looks like it will. And who will be affected most? Will you be affected, and in what way? But before we even do that, Felix, I have a correction on something that I said Friday. When I was talking about communism and socialism, and I said many people think of socialism as the offshoot or the child of communism, I quoted communism as being written by Marx and Lenin, but what I really meant was Marx and Engels wrote the Communist Manifesto. Lenin was one of the dictators, and one of the, what can I say? I just blurted it out, and I wanted to correct myself because I didn't want people to think that I was misquoting here. But now back to the topic at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think will happen at 12:01 a.m., October the 1st? It looks like we're going to have a government shutdown. So how do you think that would affect you?
And by the way, how did it affect you the last 17 times we had a government shutdown, Mark?
I don't think I really kept track. And 19 years ago, in 94, I was still working. I went to work every day. I really don't remember how it affected me, but I really feel for the people who will be affected. We have our armed forces, we have soldiers out in the field who will get IOUs for their salary, while the senators and congressmen who are causing this whole thing will continue to collect their check. I don't think that's fair. We have the soldiers doing their job, but our Congress is not doing the job.
Well, we're getting hit by a double whammy also. We're also still in what? No, we're in a sequester. That's still in effect. So now we're getting a sequester, which cut down half of our spending in the United States, or whatever it did. And now we're shutting down the government. Have you been affected by sequester? A lot of people have, but most people don't even realize we're in it.
No, because they've forgotten already. I think it's been at least 6 months already. It was before the summer. It had to be in spring.
We're all living in our own little world. If it doesn't affect us, everything's fine.
As Phil Oak said back in the late 60s, outside of a small circle of friends, if you are not affected, you really don't seem to care.
I can't disagree with him. That's the way most people are. They have a community. They have their friends. They have their circle of friends, like I said, and they go within a certain few miles around it to go to work. And anything that's 50 miles away from them is China or whatever. It really doesn't affect us. So we forget about it. We forget about all the kids that are starving in the United States. We go feed kids in other countries, but we have kids starving right here.
They say charity begins at home, yet every social program is going to be cut in some way. An ordinary farm bill that used to get passed without any problem is now cutting $40 billion over 10 years for food for people on assistance and children. And we all know that if you don't have a full belly when you go to school, how can you concentrate? You can't learn.
Well, again, the other problem is we don't really know what's going to be affected. I believe, from what I heard, post office will keep going. What else did I hear? Did you hear anything? What's going to happen? What's going to be? The parks are going to be their hours will be shut.
One day a week, I believe, the parks will be closed.
No, I think that was a sequester. I think now they're going to just shut them down, possibly. I'm not sure. But the parks didn't get affected, and probably no visitors in the White House. And
yeah, they did say that there will be no tours of the White House.
That's what
non-essential White House staff will be cut.
I mean, during the sequester, they cut down the White House visits and all that, but then somehow they managed to start them up again, the visits, and everything somehow. Most people somehow have begun to manage the sequester, and the feeling is, I think, that most people will just manage through this 18th, I'm not sure if it's 17th or 18th government shutdown. I mean, you look at the stock market, doesn't seem to be much of a panic in the stock market. I don't think anybody really cares anymore about what the hell the government's doing. And I don't really, and I think the ones that don't care the most are the Democrats and the Republicans. What do they care? They're going to get paid. The Obamacare starts tomorrow. They don't care. They're exempt for it. Nothing's going to change for them.
But you see, they're tying everything into the Affordable Health Care Act. They're willing. They've already stated that if the president was to hold off on the affordable health care for a year, they have no problem in signing anything as far as so the government doesn't shut down, extending deadlines, raising the debt limit. For some reason, they have put all their eggs into one basket, and they think that, as they like to call it, Obamacare is going to be the end-all of society as we know it, certainly as far as healthcare is concerned.
Well, yeah, it will definitely. Well, first thing is, I was going to say it'll definitely change it. But, I try to look it up online, and there is no real explanations out there yet for what Obamacare, affordable health care, whatever you want to call it. We really don't know how it's going to affect us. We don't know how it's going to affect us as employees, as employers, as people who are unemployed. The only thing I do know is tomorrow everybody will still be receiving the Medicare and their Social Security checks will keep coming.
That's true. They did say that.
The vital things are not going to stop no matter what happens, I don't think.
But we would like to know how you feel. If you think you are going to be affected or not affected. And we want your input. Otherwise, as I said before, it's just Felix and I shooting the breeze. While we're very happy to do so, we would like to hear from you. Our phone number is area code 516-665-1860. Our Skype address is
Trucking to Heaven. And you can even email us at
Felix
at Trucking to Heaven
or Mark
at truckingtoheaven.com.
So let's hear from you listeners out there.
I know this is really, it seems like an off night because we don't advertise this night, but we sort of made it a regular thing, and we've been getting listeners. And I hope when you listen to this, it doesn't take away from you listening to us on Fridays also, which is our oldest show, as they say.
You might say that by about a 5-week period.
Well, you have to remember we used to broadcast. We've been broadcasting since probably June. The only difference is we've been broadcasting as independents on the Spreaker network only for the last 7-8 weeks, I think.
That's right. All of our listeners can type into Spreaker.com. Hopefully, if you have Mozilla Firefox.
Well, actually, the real email address, the real website is speaker.com/user/trucking. And then you'll get the actual, it'll cut you through everything and you'll be right in there looking at our show.
And even if you listen on your own and not while we're broadcasting, you can still, as we said before, email us, send us a message. We'd love to read it on the air and possibly answer it, and maybe you can catch us on the air sometime and phone in your question.
You know, the problem is, Mark, I'm getting tired of speaking to you.
Oh, we had such a good thing going here, Felix.
I know, but without the audience, come on, guys, call in. We know there's live listeners. There's live listeners every week.
You know, this is not a telethon. We're not asking for your money. All we want you to do is call up. We're not asking you to make a pledge.
How about a little donation? Never hurts, though. Donated to feed the kids.
Truth be told, Felix did cut my salary, I have to tell you.
Well, there's a question. Now the government's shutting down. We have to cut the salaries down. We each cut our salaries down by 50%.
That's right. The only problem is 50% of zero is still zero.
Yeah, but we did cut it down.
Oh, but we're having so much fun.
Yeah. Hey, listen, if we had to do this for money, we wouldn't be doing this.
Oh, I don't know. Speak for yourself.
I mean, not that I'm saying that I wouldn't do it for money. It never hurts, and
we're actually waiting for the big phone call from Rush Limbaugh, or who's the guy on Fox? Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Yes, the one who now wrote a book about killing Jesus. Okay. We would be the progressives to their conservative views.
Now, I've got a question for you.
I'm afraid to give you an answer.
We've got a Hannity, we've got O'Reilly, we got the Rush.
You got Palin.
We got Palin. Who do we have that's outspoken on the opposite side? Sharpton?
Please, don't mention that name to me.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Who do we have?
I'm gagging.
Why?
No, you have Chris Matthews. You have
Yeah, you have to think about it.
Torre. All these people from MSNBC. You have Rachel Maddow.
Yeah.
Maddow.
Yeah.
Is it Eric Hayes?
But they don't stir up a lot of... They don't make a lot of noise like the Republicans.
Oh, they make noise, but they don't have... Unfortunately, they do not have the audience that a Rush Limbaugh or a Bill O'Reilly has.
Why?
Bill O'Reilly is running away with it.
Yeah, why? Because they're a lot more provocative, these guys. It doesn't matter. No, it's fine.
Okay.
Yep, everything is good. The screen went dark for a second, and Mark thought we were off the air. Sorry, guys, we're still broadcasting.
I thought we were having a blackout here.
That's not till tomorrow. But what I'm saying is they are just a lot louder, a lot more vulgar, and they attract a lot more audiences. There are less Republicans than there are Democrats, but they attract a lot more listeners because of their boldness. They're not afraid to say anything. They say anything they want. They don't care.
Just look at the Tea Party. I mean, the Tea Party is in a definite minority, but they are certainly making their voices and their opinions well known to everyone. They're the ones that are holding things up in many cases.
So again, we need a Democratic voice. We need our own Rush, our own Hannity.
Actually, Ed Schultz could probably match O'Reilly or Limbaugh as far as enthusiasm goes.
Yeah, maybe. But I said, give credit to O'Reilly. He's really not the most conservative person in the world, and he does make some pretty good. He brings out his point very well, even if we agree with him or not. He's good at what he does. And you can't take it away from him.
Well, that's why he's got the 8 o'clock show on Fox.
And that's why he's got the most popular talk show on TV right now.
Yes,
by
it is.
far.